The GSA journey started with Nick Porter. Nick Porter established Unite Group PLC back in the 1990s, and we built that into a UK-wide student business of around 40,000 bed spaces. The last 6 years has been establishing Urban Nest, and we've done that both in a London business but also in an Australian business. So we're operating in Australia in the 4 main markets there: Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide. What we're going to do the next 10 years is mainland Europe, the Middle East and Asia, and we currently have offices apart from London and Australia and Sydney. We've got offices in London for Europe, we've got an office in Dubai, which is our head office, which is covering the Middle East, and we also have a Hong Kong office, which is covering 3 main markets out of Hong Kong. One is Tokyo, there's 1.3 million students, and Shanghai and Beijing. The first thing to say is that, from a entry of market point of view, one thing we've learned over the years is we've got quite a good track record entering new markets. And that really is all about establishing strong local teams who are able to understand the local systems, the local culture, the local legislative framework, taxation, and all those issues which make up a successful model or not. So local teams is one thing we do. In terms of our sort of on-the-ground presence operationally, we have the constants we take into a market are what we call our signatures. And so wherever you go in the world and live in our accommodation, whether you're living in a premium room in London with Urban Nest, whether you're living in a twin room in Dubai with Uninest, you'll find our signatures, which are safe, secure accommodation, a great sense of arrival, fantastic community, staff who are bilingual, multilingual, quiet rooms, natural light, fresh air, and great technology, and then a long list beyond that. And those are the constants which we universally roll out wherever we go. It might be a different room or different product or a different type of building, but you will experience our business in a very universal way. And our operational teams have a great opportunity perhaps to work with us in London, and then go and perhaps move and set up a building in Dubai, go to travel to Australia, and that gives us a great opportunity, from an employment point of view, a lot of excitement around that, but also enables us to achieve standards which are consistent. We talk about what we do at GSA is make a genuine difference to students' lives, and that is really our aim in life. And the reason we say that is thinking back to when I was a student, we were students, we're now middle-aged men. But I can't remember the course really. I can't remember my course, I can't remember the lectures. I can absolutely remember where I lived and who I lived with, and the times we had and the escapades we got up to. And I lived in a classic student house basically for 3 years. And it was a tired, run-down old property. We moved every year to a different one because usually we fell out with the landlord. The accommodation was dreadful. There was no broadband, didn't really exist in those days. It was poorly managed, poorly serviced. That was my student experience. One of the things we've had to do as a business over the last few years is completely shift people's perception of how students deserve to live. And students who live in old accommodation, which is noisy, it's not properly managed, their studies suffer. Of course they suffer. So there is an umbilical link between study success and great quality accommodation. That's where we aim to make a difference.